Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have Larry Sasso with us. Larry is not only a sports coach, he is an author. He's a financier. We're going to talk about, he's got a lot of fruit salad. He's also a Marine. He was in the Marines, retired Marine. And he has written the book, I wish, a lot of us parents wish it had been around when we were raising our kids. Get in the game. Can you get a close-up of that, Paul? Who designed the cover?
My marketing team down in Atlanta, Tarkenton Financial, is very instrumental. You put it up online and people come up with different designs and so forth. So it was a team approach, just like anything else you want to do well. So a few people had some input, but the ultimate, the final piece was, you'll see there's a softball there. I coached softball the last 3 years at Anna Maria College. It was so funny. The cover was done.
Yep.
I texted it to my softball team and they said, "Coach, we don't like it." I said, "Wow, what's the matter?" They go, because I've been coaching baseball for 31 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Where's the softball?" I said, "Stop the press, stop the press. We need to get a softball." And then very quickly we got a softball and then we went to press.
I love the cover. I mean, it catches you right. Now, the forward is by that famed guy, Fran Tarkenton. Now, you mentioned Tarkenton Financial or something. Now, are they tied in together?
Tarkenton Financial. Fran's been an entrepreneur, Hall of Fame quarterback, both collegiate and NFL, a real great friend, a great mentor. This would not be possible. The last 16 years I've worked with as a business partner with Tarkenton Financial. He deals with independent financial people like myself across the country.
Mm-hmm.
So he is the marketing company. So I'm independent, but we work together as my marketing company and the insurance and financial business.
He's got a great picture of himself on the back. It's just like you. It's really good. He is a veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps. He's been a financial services professional for almost 30 years. It doesn't look at, what did you start at 5 years old?
I started right out of college. When I tell people 30 years, Jan, I have to catch myself and say, it can't be true.
It
but
goes
it
by
is.
fast.
Right out of college, yeah.
You've served clients in Massachusetts, Florida, Maine, Rhode Island. You hold a master's degree in business management, is working on his doctoral degree in business with emphasis in leadership and human motivation. I mean, I could go on. Certified life underwriter, charter financial consultant, registered health underwriter. You're passionate about sports and about coaching the young people. You really, over at Anna Maria, right? You really enjoy that. They must love to have you there.
Oh, man, we have practice this morning, 6:30, and it's all about preparation.
6:30?
6:30 a.m.
Are you serious?
Yes. And I love this team, their work ethic. I say they're industrious, but you know what? They do it with a smile. It makes it a lot of fun when you show up. I get there, they're already doing calisthenics, they're stretching out. They believe in the concept preparation. Good things happen when you're prepared.
Yep.
And I said, it's ironic. Your luck seems to go up the more prepared you are. It's because you're working hard. So this has been the best coaching experience in my life, and I just love these kids. Yeah, I love them.
But you're not going to give it up, right? You fit it in.
We're just getting started. This is my third spring. We're getting ready. We'll be leaving for Fort Myers spring training on March 6th. So third year, and I feel like this is going to be a really great year, an uptick in the program. All
right, now, this is excellent. If you're raising a kid, even a millennial, a lot of us still have those hanging around. The financial Get in the Game, a young adult's guide to baseball, softball, personal finances, and a balanced life. When I went to college, Larry, my parents, I'd never had a checkbook in my life. If the grandparents sent money on an occasion, it was gone. I mean, It was meant to be, as quick as you can, get what you want. All right.
Right.
So I went to college and I had a checkbook. And I was told I could use it in the bookstore, which meant to my parents, your books. Mm-hmm. Studies related. No. I went in there and went, woo, there's a sweatshirt with the Plymouth State logo on it. Right. This kid's got a hat. Okay, needless to say, I racked it up. My father didn't yell at me. He just gracefully took it from me. Because, I was racking. Not too bad, but it was like, well, why not? That's okay, too. Nobody told me that, Jan, this is just for books.
Right.
You can't just send a kid in there. A college bookstore, it's like, my grandfather went to Clark, and I visited their bookstore. It is amazing. I'd be a goner in there if I didn't know better. Oh,
these bookstores.
So
have
where did you
everything
go
in
to
it.
school? Did you go to Annabelle?
I grew up in Worcester on Shrewsbury Street in Worcester. I went through the public school system, starting at Adams Street School to
Yeah.
Harrington Way Junior High to Worcester Vocational Technical, where I was a machinist ready to go work for Norton Company. And then things took a turn, and I enlisted in the Marine Corps, and I went to Quinsigamond Community College because I wanted to be a Mass State Trooper at the time.
You would have made a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are, and I love those people. They put the uniform on every day and they keep us safe. I really think I would have loved to be a state trooper, but things changed, so my passion took me in a different direction. I graduated from Quinsigamond Community College, and being in the Marine Corps, the Marines teach you that the mind is a terrible thing to waste, so I did an internship at the time, and man, it opened my eyes and my heart to helping people with financial, and then to Worcester State University. What a great college. And 20 years later, I went back for my master's degree at Worcester State.
Now, have you heard
And
of
still
Plymouth?
learning.
Have you heard of Plymouth State up in New Hampshire?
Absolutely.
That's
Great
where
school.
I went.
Yeah.
Got bored and left after a
Did
couple
you?
of years, which didn't please my parents any. But no, they made it very clear: if you're coming home, you're going to have a career.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to go? And they gave me two choices, so I had to do it.
Sure.
Now we're going to go to, of course, Fran Tarkenton has the intro, the epilogue, or the prologue to this.
Right.
Now, chapter 1. What's the talk? I've read it, but tell them.
The talk is when, today, not many people sit down and talk to their kids about financial matters. Like you said about your checkbook.
And my
So-
son,
Yep, the talk is about I'm studying for my doctoral degree. It's about role modeling and enlightening our kids on like everyday things that we do at the kitchen table when we have dinner. Let's talk about the bills that we have to pay with our checking account, being responsible. And the talk is sitting down with young adults, introducing them to a checkbook, introducing them how to write a check, introducing them to balancing the checkbook.
Oh, I knew how to write it.
Yeah, and where that money comes from, because kids as soon as they reach a certain age, I think 18, to get to college, they're getting credit cards left and right. They have no concept of 1% to 19.99%. They don't know where the money comes to pay for the credit card. So the talk is, it's time that we have this talk, maybe looking at their insurance, their auto insurance policy, their checkbooks, letting them know. I think it's important that they maybe introduce them to getting a part-time job. Kids want to learn. I'm talking to teenagers all the time, and they're saying, Coach, we want to learn about this, but nobody's teaching us. So the talk is more parents. They didn't get it when they were growing up, but it's time that they talk to their children about financial matters.
Why do you think, Larry, that it's such a secret with our parents and grandparents? Why wasn't this shared?
I think it's one of those sensitive issues that, because they were never taught right, and it's very private, and they might have more loans. Parents themselves might have credit card that they're embarrassed to talk about. It's like other things in our lives. There are certain things we're very protective of. We don't want to introduce our kids about. But I think the more we open up, introduce to kids what money is all about, how we need to be careful, and really enlighten them again about where the money comes from, maybe introducing them, getting them a part-time job, volunteering, doing that type of work, networking. But the talk is definitely, maybe 16, but maybe in little increments when they're younger than that. I had a paper route my whole from the
you're
time.
one of those kids who are early in the morning and
Yes. Early bird, and we weren't allowed to throw them. If I didn't put the paper in front of your door and it wasn't protected from the elements and it got wet, I got a phone call. And it's all about customer service. Today they just drive by, throw it out the window, and they think they're done. So
they cross their fingers like, hope you get it.
yeah. So I think this talk, every family needs to have it with their children. And being a coach, it's like while I coach, I'm having that talk with children. I'll throw in some math. It's not just about softball. And when I hear kids talk about their student loans, very cavalier, like, oh, I have $80,000 in student loans, which I think is a great investment in their education, but they don't understand what that really means until they graduate and they get a bill in the mail that says $80,000 at 5.5%. They don't know what interest rates are, so we need to have that talk.
I know that when I made that fateful decision, I'm coming home. We're just talking about, number of years after that, I had finally found a job in corporate world, as a secretary, and I thought, well, credit cards, that sounds cool. So here's this young girl, about 21, with a job as an executive secretary. No, I think it paid maybe $150 a week, something like that. All right. I thought I had it made in the shade. By the time a year or so went by, I had 6 credit cards. Oh, so we lived down in Connecticut, and I'd get on the Merritt Parkway and head for the Trumbull Mall or whatever at night. I mean, it was like an addiction.
Yeah.
By the time I don't know how many, 5 to 10 years later, my mother had to sit down with me and say, look, you've got debt here. Let's make, she was not a genius in math, but she was able to give me a schedule, what do you call it, like a script. This is what you're going to pay, and this is what you're going to have left afterwards. And it worked. I stuck with it. What was I going to do? I was embarrassed. I mean, it's really bad, but aren't they more careful about who they give credit cards to? 21-year-old kid, I've never had any experience, just because I had a good job.
Excuse me, let's face it, credit card companies want you to have those balances. You know, when it says total due $450, but Jan, if you want, you can only pay $10 if you. And what's a young adult going to say? I'll pay $10. I was very lucky in my life to have great parents who taught me how to earn money, how to be careful spending money. My father-in-law was a CPA, who was very inspirational, and he taught me a ton. And when I met my wife over 30 years ago, she literally had envelopes was her budget. Okay, one envelope was insurance, one envelope was going out at night, entertainment. So that was one way that I saw how she was being taught. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And parents are not doing that anymore, and they're not having that talk. So for young adults, the kids that I listen to with the debt that they have, I had one young lady come in my office, my insurance company up the street in Sutton, and tell me about her student loans, and she reminded me of my daughter. I almost had tears in my eyes because she said, you know what, why did my parents make me or help me to sign up for that? I had no idea. And what you mentioned about the job you had when you came out of college, and I have that in the book, that people need to think, like Steve Covey says, with the end in mind. So if you're going to have a job, go to Plymouth State, for example. Maybe you want to be a school teacher.
I dropped that right off.
Right.
My roommate was an artist. I said, that's it. That's what I want to do. I didn't even ask my parents, just changed.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, but I think if we know what we want to do when we graduate, like in the book we put marine biologists, we need to match up the tuition with the income that we expect to earn when we graduate. Like I went to Worcester State University, literally paying for my own tuition. The Marine Corps helped a little bit too, but I knew at some point it clicked with me what I wanted to do. Now if you want to be a school teacher, maybe Fitchburg State, Plymouth State, Worcester State, but maybe Holy Cross is not something within your means. So the alternative is parents start their savings program. My daughter was born in 1997.
And my son in 92.
April 9th, and I started her 529 education plan literally like weeks later. So we have to plan. It's all about preparation. That's why I say fundamentals.
I figured that by leaving, that I was not only saving myself because I was bored, but I thought, well, why would Dad be so bad? I'm saving him a lot of money. We were out of state. If you go to a out of state school, I don't know how he did it. I never asked him. It was just assumed I would go to college. So, but I thought, in my little mind, I just said, well, I'm saving him money. Why is he so upset that I'm leaving college? I couldn't understand it. I really. We're talking with Larry Sasso, and he is the author. You can catch this book downstairs in the Upton Library. Get in the Game, a young adult's guide to baseball, softball, personal finances, and a balanced life. Larry, how else can they get your book?
Okay, to get the book, they can go on Amazon and find it there. Man, I didn't know it at the time. I'm a baseball guy, and when you go on Amazon, you type in "Get in the Game," you'll see one of the most well-known baseball names in the game, Cal Ripken. And Cal Ripken wrote a book, Get in the Game. So it's really great and cool that I see myself right now. Our book is actually ahead of his, and his has been out 10 years. So you can go on Amazon and get the book there. It's $9.99 plus shipping. You can call our office right up the street in Sutton, Massachusetts at 508-865-9499. Literally come in the office. We'll sign it for you. You can pick it up there. Or we're looking to have more book signings in the community soon.
Have you listened to WMRC? I think it's WMRC. Drew, the Drew Mortgage guys?
Occasionally I'll flip around on the channel. I've heard that before, that organization.
Yeah, he's, after a while, God bless him, but I can't take the gravelly voice.
Yeah.
You know who
very
exactly
unique, very unique.
He's very unique. Now, on this.
Yes.
What's a young person's bucket list, part 1, which I should have had?
Yeah, the bucket list is we all have things. One of my on the topics on my bucket list, obviously, was to do the book. So if we prepare, put things down, and we actually put them down on a list on a piece of paper, it's amazing what you can accomplish. And just like in the book, we mentioned the movie Rudy that I just love. That don't let anybody tell you can't do it. And if something's on the bucket list and you don't get it the first time, hey, Fran Tarkenton lost 3 Super Bowls, and today he said what losing taught him about winning. He's lost more from losing than from winning, and I love having a mentor like that because he's taught me so many things in the last 16 years. So it won't always go as planned. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to need to get back up, and I say it all the time. If you believe, I believe in God, and I believe in you can get back up. You just have to keep working and working, preparing and preparing. So the bucket list is what you want to accomplish, and I think writing it down. Abraham Lincoln once said, I will prepare and someday I will get my chance. When you get that chance, you have to be ready.
This is his birthday, by the way, February 12th.
Serendipity. There you go, Jan, again.
Lincoln's birthday.
There you go. I just love it.
Did you think you'd get into this when you were graduating high school? Did you think that you would be in this direction, or this just happened?
That's a great question. I really did not think I was going to be in this direction. I enlisted in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I went to Quinsigamond Community College to study and graduate law enforcement. My goal, my heart was on law enforcement because my community, where I grew up on Shrewsbury Street, you were mainly either firemen, policemen, first responders. So I just felt like, you know what, that's me. I could see myself doing that. And then something clicked one day when I did an internship, and I saw the responses that people get when you can help them with their money. And having my father-in-law be a CPA and my parents, I just seeing the work ethic, I said, you know what? I love the idea of helping people with their financial matters and insurance because people don't get that. They're not being taught. And it's all about customer service. But I did not think it would happen. But once I got into it, on November 19th, 1990, I started at MetLife in downtown Worcester. And I just knew right away, I love this. Like, you control your own destiny. And it allows me to coach when I want to coach and to help as many kids as I can.
Now, when you coach, I know you coach baseball at Anna Maria. Do you coach, excuse me, do you also coach people like a life coach? Or
Yes.
Did you do that?
At Anna Maria College, Jan, I am a softball coach, but for the last few years, including my wonderful experience at Nipmuc Regional High School, 3 of the greatest years, the greatest kids that I've been around.
Right here in Upton?
Right here in Upton, right up the street.
Yeah.
What a treasure that school is. It was one of the greatest experiences that I had. So coaching, I believe that baseball coaches, softball coaches, a coach is a role model, a teacher, and I think sometimes the wrong people are in those positions.
Yeah.
I think we need to teach these kids. It's not just about winning that game. It's about life lessons. Like I had this talk with my team this morning, and I said we have to be prepared. We have to work on things that could happen in a game. So that talk it's daily. So coaching, yes, I'm a life coach. Fran Tarkenton is a life coach to me. He's helped me on so many things. If I have a meeting, one time I had a meeting with a senior. She's about 80 years old. Fran just turned 80 years old 2 weeks ago, and he goes to work every day. I called him one time. I said, Fran, what should I say? Like, what should I say to this woman? And he said, Larry, here's what you... So it was great. And he's there when I need him, and I call him. So we all need a coach. We all need a mentor. In high school, I don't feel like I had the greatest mentors, but in college, I did have a great mentor. And today, I obviously have the best mentor. So I think it's about, I try to help kids, but when I need help, I have my mentors too. So coaching to me is role modeling and being a good mentor.
Love it. Where do you find the time? You've written a book. I think you said it took you 10 years to put... How many years to put your book together?
Like I said, it's more like a puzzle. The pieces were there, but I finally made up my mind when Fran Tarkenton called me one day, and I forget the conversation, but I was literally going on a plane from Atlanta coming back home. Oh, I had to go down to Florida. He was in Atlanta, and I helped the client roll over her money and save her, the stress of the stock market. And he called me as I was boarding the flight, and I don't remember the exact words, but let me tell you, he touched my heart, and I said to myself, what am I waiting for? Because he always said, Larry, if you ever need anything, you just call me, let's talk about it. And I said, man, if I could write this book, if Fran Tarkenton would write the foreword, that would be the impetus for me to really step on and get this done. Then it became a team approach, but I think that was the piece that really,
You've been
the
blessed.
final piece.
You've been blessed, let me tell you. One more, Larry, again, how can they reach you, get your book? Maybe if somebody out there would like you to come speak, how would they get a hold
I
of
would love to go speak different organizations or high schools, but they can reach me at 508-865-9499. My office is right up the street about, actually it's 6.3 miles from Nipmunk Regional High School. I know because when I coached there, I know exactly how long it took me to get there. So they can go on Amazon. I love that it's on Amazon, and I love the fact that people can order that book on Amazon and literally get it within a day or two. During the holidays last year, several people in the great town of Upton that I coached, their parents wanted the books. Kids like Grizz, hey, the moms reach me, I want to get this book. I personally delivered they'd order it on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I literally drove to their home, put it in the same envelope, put it in their door, and I just loved the
Yeah.
reaction that I was getting.
Well,
from
I know
them.
when I got this in the mail, I'm like, wow, that's quite a cover. Where have you been appearing, Larry? I know he was a big hit at Tatnock.
We had a Pepe's Pizza in Worcester, Tatnick Bookseller down there in Westboro. Different people have called me to bring books over. We haven't had a whole lot of book signings. One of the best ones that we had was at Anna Maria College, right in the Information Commons room. And I was just amazed how many people, faculty, administrators, my players, other athletes on campus that came up as I lifted my head and saw people just continually coming in. That was really heartfelt.
You've got, the audience alone, obviously, college students, their parents, youth groups. I mean, there's so many things out there where you would be able to get the word out. I mean, my gosh, this book is a gem. The Dangers of Debt. Now, I did hear that from my father. They did teach me, hey, pay more. If it says $20, send them more than $20. Try 40 if you can. I got that. It took me a while, but I got it.
The debt. That was the part, like I told you about that one client. Man, so many young children. I had this figure in my head the other day when I spoke to Bill Doyle, but so many young people, a lot of people in general are in debt. Student loans are, I think it's $1.7 trillion, which is, I think, the greatest investment is in education. That could be a trade, electrician, plumber, it could be a college degree. So I think the investment piece is good, but within your means. So debt, there's good money, good interest and bad interest. People and children, young adults need to know that interest could be your ally or your enemy. If you have a credit card balance of $3,000 and you just pay the minimum, that is going to snowball.
It's
and
never ending.
It's going to get out of control. So we need to, when I meet with people, one of the first questions I ask when they say, hey, Larry, I want to invest money, I say, tell me now, do you have any debt, credit card loans, car loans? I'm usually the one to say, you know what, pay those off. When you do, call me again and then we can get started. But debt is a really major problem, and financial literacy is too as well. Right now in the United States, 22 states, Carolina is just the 22nd, I believe, that mandate a financial literacy class in high school before they graduate. I love Nipmunk Regional because why coaches teachers and coaches like Ryan Cody, they have the DECA program. Those kids, I was so impressed at the background that they have in math and financial literacy.
Yeah.
A lot of high schools and colleges, you could graduate. I met a young lady when I went back 20 years later for my master's degree, and we started chatting about a car loan. And I said, oh yeah, we bought a brand new car and here's the rate. And she looked at me with a blank stare, 4.0 student. And I said to her, what's the matter? She goes, what do you mean by like 3.99? And that was the part that I said, whoa, this is not right. Like, how can a person graduate with her master's degree and never be introduced to financial literacy?
Yeah. I think a lot of us I think when I was accepted into college, I remember the official who said, I asked him at the interview, I said, do you have any idea if I'll be accepted or when? You've been. He made that decision when we met.
Wow.
But he warned me. He says, you're not going to do well in college math, because that was not my highest on the SAT. I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I'll slide by. No, I got there and it was like, I didn't make it the first semester. The second semester, went to summer school, got it up a little bit. I said, you know what am I doing here? I'm just trying to do this math thing. That's
Right.
not where I want to be in life.
Right.
And I haven't used any of it except add and subtract. That's me. But I could see it. It was like, well, you know what? I think I'm wasting Dad's money here because I'm not going anywhere. This is crazy. I'm spinning my wheels.
When kids, and that's very common, when kids see the power of compound interest, or not just kids, if you break it down and you show people, hey, if we put $100 in, we talk about fundamentals and preparation, but when you show somebody compound interest, time value of money, and you show people, I call them the 3 R's, right? Review, rebalance, reallocate, like their portfolios. But when you show somebody some money going in initially and then so much more money every month, like in the book, doing a penny today, 2 pennies tomorrow, but that introduces them to, hey, you're working really hard for your money. Let's let you have your money work really hard for you.
Exactly.
Currently, this week I've been sitting down with a lot of my 401k clients, and it's always a good time to review your 401k when you're up 24, 25%. Do I expect this to continue? No, because I've been in the business. I've seen the technology bust back in 2000, 2001. I saw the 2008, 2009, 10 recession since the Depression hit. So I know that pit in my stomach that I felt when the market went down. So I tell people, hey, this is not a time to be complacent. It's time to build up the fortress. Things will change, but you need to be in the game, get in the game, and you need to be prepared. These things don't happen by accident. You have to work at it, and I think having an advisor, a mentor, a lot of people are embarrassed to see a financial advisor.
Why?
Some people don't like to go to the doctor, right?
I don't care.
I don't, and you don't, but there are a lot of people out there that just don't openly speak or talk about financial matters, including spouses and grandparents and parents. But I think today, my mission, Jan, right now as a retired politician, state representative, my very good friend Vincent Bedoni out of Worcester, is I've been in touch with him as early as yesterday, and I said, Vincent, it's time. And he said, I know where you're going. I said, we need to make Massachusetts number 23. Yeah. So we're going to work my next mission, because somebody on LinkedIn said, hey, Larry, I saw the book. I saw that you're doing this. What's next? And I said, next is I want to see Massachusetts bring this to the forefront and mandate that kids cannot graduate from high school without taking a simple personal finance 101.
Oh, boy.
And how I do it, Jan, you asked earlier, how do you do this? Like, I look at Michael Strahan. He does NFL. Ryan Seacrest, this. I think how you do it is you just prepare your mental time management. To me, it's management of time. The Marine Corps was great at teaching me that.
Yeah.
Hey, I get up at 5:15, 5:30. I'm at the gym, physical conditioning, right? But something's got to give. By 9:30, 10, I'm really tired and I'm in bed. But you plan your day accordingly. Nothing is impossible. I still feel like I have a long way to go. I'm trying to learn. Getting a doctoral degree has just been a real... But I learned one thing from Fran Tarkenton. He's been knocked down many times, and he'll tell you with a smile that it can be done. You just have to continue to work and prepare, and he does it all the time, and that's why I have that energy and passion to continue.
Get in the game. And this is great for the parents to read, A Young Adult's Guide to Baseball, Softball, Personal Finances, and a Balanced Life. And Larry Sasso is also a coach. And he'll sit down with you. He will meet with you. Where is your business located?
Thank you so much, Jan, and thank you for having me. We're right up the street in Sutton. It's probably about, 5 miles north up here, right next to Renard Electric. So we've been there since 2001. I've been on my own now. Yeah. Hard to imagine.
It's your own business?
It's my own business. Lawrence Sasso Insurance and Financial Services, Inc., incorporated in 2005. I love what I do. I go to work every day loving what I do, and when that stops, I'll stop doing it. But the beauty of it is you help people, and you sometimes, it's more rewarding financially than others, but I find that the more people I help, and like I said in the article with Bill Doyle, to me it's about literally saving as many young adults as I can from the nightmare of growing up and being into debt. So, and this, I shouldn't say young adults, it's everybody, and it's something we have to work on every day.
Talk about a go-get-'em book. My grandfather taught me, he said, look up, you look down, you're lost. And he went to Clark. He was on the debating team.
Oh, he was very smart.
Economics major.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think just about everybody on my father's side went to college. Not that that's a big deal, but I mean, the other side, it was different. But The college thing, I like it. We got about 1 minute left. Larry, where are you going to be appearing coming up? Where are you going to be?
We're working on different book signings. We have some. We're in talks with people right now, but I just want to say again, thank you so much for having me, Jan. And none of this would be possible, of course, without good support at home. My wife Sue, we've been married now 28 years. My son and my daughter, Tommy and Erica, they're so supportive of me, and they're always. And my son's taking a marketing class right now. And I said, Tom, this book is a perfect example of marketing. So we need to teach our kids at home about financial matters and marketing, and have these talks. Have the talk with these kids at a younger age.
So nothing coming up right now?
Right now we don't have anything scheduled. Where it's ongoing, Jan. I'd love to, if anybody is interested, I'd love to see a few high schools. Maybe Nipmunk Regional High School would be a tremendous opportunity for me. We can schedule something. I'd love to come out to the schools, maybe in a smaller setting, larger setting. I'm very flexible. And like I said before, it's all about if I can help a few more kids that, if I can affect them in a positive way. And I find sometimes that I learn as much from them just by having that discussion. When my second grade teacher came to my book signing 2 weeks ago, Miss Lan out of Worcester, man, I just said to her, I was so lucky to have a beautiful teacher, a very wise teacher, a role model in second grade. And we named off every teacher. She remembered them, and I did. But unfortunately, there are people in your life that you look back and say, maybe they weren't the best role model or best teacher. And that's why I say coaching is so important. Like, these coaches are around these kids so much time, that if they're not a positive influence on that person, that can be detrimental to them in more than one way.
You can contact Larry. Bring your kids if you make an appointment.
Absolutely.
Bring your... I'd like to drag my millennial son in there, but it's probably too late. I don't know. But Larry, we're going to have you back on again. Is there another book coming? We got about 1 minute left.
I will say this, I am not a professional writer, so unfortunately there are a couple typos in there. There's going to be another book. When these are all gone, we are going to correct them. I wanted to surprise my wife with the book. She knew I was working on it, of course, but I wanted certain pieces of it to be a surprise. She's a tremendous proofreader. My daughter is as well, and my intern Abby at the office is tremendous as well. So I said, you know what? I think we have this. So people have helped me at Tarkenton Financial, and other people had helped. Jim Sullivan helped me. He was inspirational as well. So the next book will be just just altering a few things here and there, cleaning it up, adding some stuff that I've learned over the last...
Are you working on it right now?
I am not working on it right now.
Okay.
We are looking at some, if we need to correct some, yes, a few things that we're looking to fix. But I think, you know what, I love what I do, and when the time comes, I'll know it, and then we'll get going on it.
What a heck of a start. And also downstairs, Upton Library, the dedicated office wall. All right, we are going to say goodbye and get you back on again. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll
and Jan, thank you so much. Thank you.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems. Moving through the cloud